You're in the moment. Everything feels right. And then your body just doesn't respond. What is wrong with me? If you've been there, you know how isolating that question can feel. But here's what most men don't know. An erection doesn't start in the body. It starts in the brain. And that changes everything about how we understand it. Consider Marcus. He's 32. Physically healthy. Active. No major medical history. But for the past few months he's been dealing with something he can't quite explain. He hasn't told his partner. He hasn't told his doctor. Because men rarely do. Erectile dysfunction is the consistent difficulty achieving or maintaining an erection firm enough for sexual activity. Almost every man experiences it occasionally. Stress. Alcohol. Exhaustion. Any of these can interrupt the body's response. But when it happens repeatedly, it usually points to something deeper. And for Marcus, that something wasn't where he expected to find it. To understand what goes wrong, you first need to understand what goes right. An erection is a chain reaction. It begins with arousal signals in the brain. Those signals travel through the nervous system. They trigger chemicals that relax blood vessels in the penis. Blood flows in. Pressure builds. An erection forms. It sounds mechanical. But every step requires the brain to cooperate. Anxiety. Distraction. Stress. Any of these can interrupt the chain before it even begins. More than 150 million men worldwide experience erectile dysfunction. The risk increases with age. But younger men are far from immune. 1 in 4 men seeking treatment for ED is under 40. Stress. Anxiety. Poor sleep. Lifestyle habits. These affect sexual function at any age. And yet many men suffer in silence for months, sometimes years, before speaking to anyone. Marcus did. You don't have to. Physical factors can play a real role. Poor circulation is one of the most common contributors. That's why erectile dysfunction can sometimes be an early sign of heart disease or high blood pressure. Diabetes can damage the nerves involved in arousal. Low testosterone affects desire and response. Certain medications, antidepressants, blood pressure drugs, even antihistamines, can also blunt sexual response. Daily habits matter too. Smoking constricts blood vessels. Poor sleep disrupts hormones. Alcohol, beyond a threshold, depresses the nervous system. But research keeps returning to one key point. For men under 40, psychological factors drive many cases. Which brings us back to Marcus. Here is what many men are never told. The brain cannot be aroused and anxious at the same time. These are opposing states of the nervous system. Arousal requires calm and presence, the parasympathetic state, often called rest and digest. Anxiety activates the opposite system. Fight or flight. And fight or flight is designed for survival. It redirects blood flow toward muscles and away from anything the body considers non-essential, including sexual function. So the moment Marcus started wondering, is it going to happen again? His body answered the question for him. The fear of erectile dysfunction became the cause of it. This isn't weakness. It's neuroscience. This is where Marcus's experience turned into a cycle. It often begins with a single episode. Stress. Exhaustion. One too many drinks. A perfectly normal interruption. But the brain remembers. The next intimate moment arrives and attention splits. Part of it present. Part of it watching. Is it happening? That monitoring is the problem. Monitoring creates anxiety. Anxiety suppresses arousal. And the experience confirms the fear. The loop tightens each time it repeats. This is why some men notice something strange. Casual encounters may work fine. But intimacy with someone they care about becomes difficult. It's not the person. It's the pressure. That's the erectile dysfunction loop. Fear creates monitoring. Monitoring creates anxiety. Anxiety blocks arousal. And the cycle repeats. But here's the thing about loops. They can be cut. The cycle breaks when you interrupt the monitoring. That's easier said than done. But research shows what helps. Sensate focus. A technique developed by sex researchers Masters and Johnson. The idea is simple. Remove the goal of erection. Touch without expectation. Intimacy without a destination. When pressure disappears, the nervous system can return to a relaxed state. Communication helps too. Many men discover that simply naming what's happening with a trusted partner removes a huge amount of pressure. Secrecy maintains the loop. Honesty disrupts it. And when anxiety is the main driver, therapy can help. Cognitive behavioral therapy and sex-specific counseling show strong results. Marcus eventually tried all three. It took time. But the loop broke. When physical factors are involved, or psychological work needs support, medical options exist. Medications such as sildenafil and tadalafil increase blood flow to the penis. They don't create arousal. They simply give the body more time to respond. Doctors may also evaluate hormone levels, cardiovascular health, and nerve function. Lifestyle changes matter more than many people realize. Exercise improves circulation. Better sleep stabilizes hormones. Reducing smoking and alcohol supports nervous system function. Small changes, repeated consistently, can lead to real improvement. And if erectile dysfunction happens frequently, speak with a doctor. Not just for your sex life, for your heart. Erectile dysfunction can sometimes be an early warning sign of cardiovascular disease. Marcus didn't have a broken body. He had a nervous system reacting to pressure. Once he understood that, the shame began to shift. Not because the problem vanished overnight, but because he stopped fighting himself. Erectile dysfunction is common. It is treatable. And often, understanding it is the first step toward resolving it. Progress doesn't come from pressure. It comes from finally getting out of your own way. We also made a full video on performance anxiety, what causes it, how it escalates, and how to interrupt it. If this resonated, that video goes deeper. I'll link it above. And if you want to, drop an anonymous comment with just a number. How old were you the first time you experienced this? No names. No details. Just the number. You might be surprised by what shows up. This is Body and Bond, where biology meets psychology. See you in the next one.